Hi! Greetings! Let me know if you can hear and see. Oops. Yeah, that would be better. Okay. I don't know if Otto will be here. I hope she'll be able to make it. Oh, awesome. Good, good, good. So, yeah, I am not super clear about what I want to do today, so I thought I'd ask you guys if you have any suggestions or if there are any things you would like to see in particular. Feel free to write so in the chat and I will check it out. So, hi Sam and Sukabu and Paolo and Isabella and Mary and Avery and Ian and Che and Lee and a Wrath Beast. Awesome. Awesome. I'm super tired today because we had to wake up really early in case they decided to deliver a new mattress at like 7 a.m. So I'm a bit slow. Yay! Otto is here! Hi Otto! Yay! And Scarlett, hi guys! I'm really happy to see you today. Oh, what is dinner? I hope it's good. That can be dangerous asking you guys. Well, I know, but I still keep the right to refuse the weirder suggestions that might be a bit on the fringe, if you know what I mean. Have you tried Milford watercolor paper? No, I haven't. The papers I have easy access to are Fabriano and Arches, so that's the ones I've tried. The rest is out of reach for the moment, but I got my eyes on Otto because she was talking about maybe putting together some kind of sampler pack of paper. So I will patiently wait for that, and then I'm gonna be able to answer a lot more of the paper questions you guys have. Chicken and sweet corn pasta salad with Italian leaf. Yummy. Oh, did I get it wrong? Was it not you, Otto, about the papers? I might be wrong. Maybe I mixed it up. Okay, no. Okay, I got it. Whew. It's been a weird morning. Though we have a new mattress and it's comfy. So, yep, good thing. Make something with your travel kit. Which one? So yeah, as I was saying, if you want to see something special for today's live stream, I'm up for it. It was a bit insane like this morning, so I didn't have a lot of time to get something ready. Okay, no, it's Otto. Otto will eventually have a really nice paper sampler package that I'm super excited to try. Because papers! And I can speak for Arches and Fabriano, and I think the one I've used the most is some Winsor and Newton paper, and I'm not even sure they sell the sheet at my store. Like, I think that's something that I inherited from a relative, and it's like 15-year-old paper, so it's old. Travel watercolor, something with a limited palette. Creamer Earth set is gonna get a full, a nice and clean review, so I will not break into it right away. I don't know, you guys want to see that one? Because I was thinking it would make a nice, you know, well put together video for the Earth set, and have like a proper commentary that's decent audio and not me mumbling in my mic. Draw a gemstone cat like an amethyst leopard. That's cool. That's a really cool idea. I need some paper. I really need to keep better track of my lead sharpener. It's so small. It's always somewhere I can't see. Tiger's Eye Tiger, that's kind of cool. Oh, hi, Jit! Ow. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take out the old rock collection and maybe grab a few. So Amethyst was one. I'm pretty sure I have a Tiger's Eye somewhere. And if I don't, you can definitely launch a search party to find where the real Eve is at. Because not having one would be really out of character for me. How about the tourmaline long-furred kitty? Do I have tourmaline? Is that a tourmaline? Or is that something else? I can't remember. I know I have a blue Tiger's Eye somewhere. Yep, that's it. Oh, I have mechanical pencils with lead sharpeners in the cap, but they are super annoying to use, I find. Oh my god, you have a rock collection. I love you. Yes, I do. I've been collecting rocks like since I was something like 8. So there are rocks in there that are really old, and some that I bought more recently because I used to work close to a place that had rocks. And sometimes I would stop by after work and just pick a couple of rocks that I like. I prefer to get the ones that are not tumbled. Like, I really like the raw stuff, but it's not easy to find. Like, sometimes all they have is the tumbled stuff, so yeah. Tourmaline can... oh yeah, green and pink. I'm not sure I have one. It's kind of a pricey rock, so usually the more pricey rocks are just out of my budget anyway. This one is pretty cool. This one was like when my parents went to France one year without us, of course, without the kids. They brought me back this one. It's supposed to be like a volcanic bomb. I'm guessing it's just like a fragment of volcanic stuff that flew away, and it's pretty interesting inside. How about your characters, Eve? I keep seeing elves characters in your Instagram. Yeah, I really like drawing elves. It's basically drawing humans, but with better ears, like a funner, more fun shape of ears. I'm just trying to see if I have the tourmaline, but I really doubt I do. Of course, I can always Google rock to see what it's like, but it's a lot more fun to just have the thing on your desk. So yeah, a bunch of stuff. Really like the crystals and the geodes. I hope one day I get a chance to crack open my own geode and find something nice and sparkly inside. That's on my bucket list. Okay, just gonna try to store this stuff. Okay, so I found the tiger's eye and the amethyst. So there's that. Classic rock collection. AC/DC. That's a good one. Rose quartz chaos. What is that about, Otto? Oh, bye, Jit. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, hi, Kyria. And Snow Sparkle Gems. That's one extensive collection. Yeah, but like I said, I've been collecting rocks. Like, I collected a lot of rocks when I was a kid because I wanted to be a geologist at some point. And I had like my own, you know, the geologist hammer. And I have rocks a bit everywhere. Seriously, like if I go somewhere and there is a cool rock, I will probably grab it and bring it home. Chaos the cat. Why does that not ring a bell? Am I missing something? Do I have any rose quartz? I'm not sure I have any rose quartz. Or I think I do, but it's tumbled, so it has a lot less character when it's tumbled. Rose quartz. Rose quartz. Nah. Doesn't look like I have any. I have a Labradorite though. I really like this one because it's ooh effect. I don't know if you can see the nice effect it has, but it's a pretty one. Oh, Havoc! Oh yeah. Yeah, Chaos would be a good name for her. A really good name for her. Okay. So a tiger. I do not have a lot of practice drawing tigers. Maybe I should get my phone and just quickly search for tigers. Labradorite, Labrador. I love the Labradorites, especially when you go to the places where they have these huge ones and they have all this sparkliness going, and it's just so pretty. See, that's one stone that is almost more interesting tumbled than raw, it's the Labradorite because of the way it catches the light. But I don't see any appeal in having a tumbled amethyst because I feel like the character of the stone is in the peaks of the crystal. Like tiger shark. Yeah, but that was kind of cartoony and easy. And I could do a cartoony tiger, which is probably what I'll do, but they have features that are not exactly like a cat. Like the way the big nose is built up. So no, I don't. What? Why? No, I don't want to search for a stupid website. Go away. And I search for tiger, and the first thing that comes up is tiger woods. And like, that's sort of missing the point. That's not what I want. I want the big cat. Okay. Yeah, amolites are pretty cool. Oh. Wow, Tsukabu, that's so cool. Tsukabu is saying that they lived near a creek that had quartz runoff from an old mine, and on occasion they'd find big pieces of quartz with gold, copper, and silver in it. That's so cool. I hope you hoarded a few. I know I would have. Probably hoarded them all. You can draw a gem house cat that looks like it has been tumbled, since house cats are more refined versions of bait cats. Depends on the house cats. I got a few in here that are not that refined. Hello Val and Chini. Hi guys. Okay. Tiger's eye effect would be a difficult one to capture in painting because it's kind of subtle. And it really depends on how the light hits up the rock. I think I would be at the creek with the special quartz even when it's full of water. Like all the time and just looking at the rocks. And I remember having a lot of fun like looking at rocks and how they were when they were wet versus what they were like when they were dry. I think I have a small rock that is sulfur in my collection, and as a result I feel like every time I handle some of my rocks my finger smells of a slightly bit like you know, a pack of matches. That's just really weird. Oh, hi Stefan. Happy birthday, right? Is it today? Is it today? Anyway, happy birthday. Oh, that's some pretty epic creek. If there was a chance it could sweep you away. Oh, that's so cool, Chini. Chini's saying that they are so excited to be watching. They've been getting into watercolor recently and discovered my channel yesterday. Been learning a lot from the channel and other channels. Yeah, it's a good community. There's a lot to learn around here. From like, regardless of what you like, you will be able to find someone that has a lot of info on the topic, which is pretty great. Do I have a miniature tiger? Aside from Pecco, I mean. Yeah, Pecco is a good miniature tiger, but I got this one too, which is always handy. Actually, Val, the chat suggested the stones because I didn't quite know what to do, and they suggested the first suggestions was to draw a leopard amethyst. Yeah, I am not super practiced. As much as I love cats, I still struggle drawing them a lot. So, yeah. That's just not... Let's make it a bit more cartoony and a bit less like reference, so it would possibly be more fun. Ooh, a panther out of obsidian. Well, that's just a regular panther, right? Aw. I'm really sad to hear that, Tsukaboo. They're saying that they weren't very social growing up, and the creek was the perfect place for them to avoid the local kids because they were jerks. They just played with their cats and in the dirt. Yeah, I would... Playing in the dirt was so super fun. I had a great time playing in the dirt as well. I was lucky in that I don't think the local kids were jerks to me, or if they were, I didn't really catch up on it, so no biggie. But I've seen them being jerks to other people, and I was like, why would you even do that? What's the whole point? I mean, I think once they were wanting to throw snowballs, like ice balls, with food coloring in them so that it would stain the other person, like the victim's clothing. And the victim in question just knocked on my place to be like, hey, can I hide in here because they want to throw these things at me? And I remember being like, yeah, sure, but what is wrong with them? Why would they do that? Oh, the clicking could be this, could be the mic, could be the way I speak, or it could be the washing machine. Ooh, tiger statue. Oh no, that's so sad. Okay, so Snow Sparkle Gem is saying that they just remembered when I mentioned miniature tiger. In their country, some of the army military units are represented by tigers, and there is this one base camp / branch of the army with a tiger statue. The tiger statue was old and not true to the anatomy. It looks so comical that it became a meme a few years ago. After it being viral, the authority put him down and put a new statue true to the anatomy. I'm really sad about that. Yeah, it's kind of sad because the funny tiger statue has become so iconic. I agree. And it's like it's not tied into any kind of political thing. It's just a funny statue. So I'm really sad too that they removed it. Okay, so I wanted to have, I have a few, I think the clicking is just this paper. A few questions for you guys because I've been watching a great many things on Netflix and I came up with a bunch of questions. But okay, first question would be like, what was your favorite toy to play with when you were a kid? Oh, hi, Cuddle Bloom. If it was a meme, I'm pretty sure the statue of the tiger can still be seen online. I doubt that they could remove all of the, even if they wanted to. That kind of stuff is often there forever. Oh, a toy saying plushy toys. I think I know the answer, but which one was your favorite? Yeah, this tiger is kind of derpy looking. Don't know how I could... See, that's the kind of thing when I see, like, I've had an idea like the tiger's eye tiger. I feel like that's something that would be easier to render with digital software, maybe. Like to draw this in Photoshop might be easier. Just because you have less of... in fact, you have more control on the effect. So if I want to make this super nice, subtle, sort of shiny lines effect, would possibly be easier to do in a digital software. So Ian is saying that his fav toy was his Darth Vader. Trying to think what was my favorite toy. I think it really depends on the age, right? Because when you're a toddler, you're not gonna have the same favorite toy as when you're a bit older. So Cuddle Bloom was also more of a plushy toy person. A little black dog named Licorice. A little black dog... Bleh, sorry. Start again. A little black dog named Licorice. That's so cute. Arath Beast is saying, I used to play with so many stuffed animal toys. Favorite was a dragon and a grey cat, but then we had to throw them all away. Oh no, why? Yeah, the tiger is from the Schleich. Schleich. If you want to have miniature animal statues, they are the best manufacturers, I would say. You still gotta check them out because some of them might have like the eyes not exactly in the right place, but overall they're pretty good. Val is saying that she wasn't big into stuffed animal or dolls. I can't speak today. And she would say it was her bike. Huh. Tsukabu saying, I loved Power Rangers and Barbie. I had the whole Megazord at one point. What is Megazord? I also had a ton of mini Star Wars toys that I could put in a Millennium Falcon container. That's so cool! Oh yeah, that's some good stuff. Yeah, oh darn it, my anatomy is not good today. Okay, let's try something different. Start with a bean, because a bean is always a good place to start. Like is German, yeah. Sadly, I don't speak German, so it's kind of a difficult name to say for someone who doesn't speak German. Oh, okay. So Arethbeast is saying that they couldn't fit them all when moving from California to Texas. That they only have two small ones left: a fruit bat and a chameleon. Oh, that's still sad that you couldn't bring your favorites. Oh, so Che is saying that they don't remember well and they're not sure if it falls into toy category, but they really like Play-Doh. That's a toy, yeah. Okay, so Megazord is the giant robot that the Power Rangers would fight giant bad guys in. Yeah, I am not super knowledgeable about Power Rangers, I guess. Weebles? What are Weebles? Okay, Snow Sparkle Gems saying that their favorite was a koala ornament. They are not sure if it was made of wood or other art material, kind of like a statue about 7 to 10 centimeters tall. But it had hair, which was so smooth. Oh wow. Yeah, you can't really predict what kids are gonna like in terms of toys. That kind of ended up looking more like a bear than a tiger. Jeez, guys, it's not working well today. Looks like a koala, actually. Yeah, sure. Let's make it a cross-eyed tiger. Why not? I love the tigers in Kung Fu Panda were so pretty. And the snow leopard, so nicely done. That's some great design. Unlike what I'm trying to do right now, that is just caught in so much brain fog. No, I don't know what a weeble is, I'm sorry. Oh, hi Kiharu. Nice. Nice to see you. Guys, this is a disaster. I'm a disaster today. I need to find time to practice drawing more. I feel so not on top of my game. Have a tiger in shorts because why not? Ta-da! Oh hi Hercule Poirot! Nice! I don't even know what a weeble is. What is a weeble? Phone, tell me what is a weeble. Oh. Oh yeah, they're like the eggs that don't fall down. Like they would have a cap there and a cap there and something in between, like sometimes a face, like, hey, I am a person, look. Herpaderp. Like that. Is that a weeble? Because if that's a weeble, yeah, I mean, I had a few, but I didn't know that was what they were called. Because I am a French Canadian. I am not an American, and I don't know the words in English for this stuff. There you go. It's an egg with a face. That's the best description of a weeble. Macan Sissagoo pour. Yeah, there I go. There I speak Franglish again. No, Mac. I'm gonna make it. I can type. Okay, cool. Oh, it's so awesome. Oh, I'm so sad they replaced it. It was so funny. Oh, what a good picture. Can I see the picture better? Come on, show me the picture. Look at this. Look, can you see this guy? Like, that was the original tiger. It's so priceless. And then they put like a regular one, but I mean, look at this guy. It looks like one of the, like, a mix between a cartoon and when you have bad taxidermy animals. That's really funny. Oh wow, Otto, that sounds nice. Oh, a massage. Ooh. Oh, the original tiger was so nice. I should draw the original tiger, mind you. It's just so awesome. I'm so sad they removed it. Oh, poor guy. I hope they kept him somewhere, like to pay homage to this beautiful and funny creature. It's remarkable. It's not terrifying, and if they were going for terrifying, I can understand that they would be disappointed. But in terms of being unique and like special, you cannot beat this guy. He's just the best. Oh, hi Dan! How are you? Oh no, they broke him down! Oh, I'm so heartbroken! Oh, that's such a bummer. You know what? It reminds me a bit of the kind of stuff you can find in the One Piece manga. Like the silly animals and the weird cartoony stuff that goes on in there. Oh, at least there are pictures left. Oh, I'm so sad they had to destroy him. Jeez, talk about not having a sense of humor or something. To end up destroying this guy. So unique. Ah. Oh, he's amazing. Look at those teeth. What are those? Oh, that's just so priceless. I'm so gonna be laughing about this guy forever. Like, you have some sad situations like this, like all the Confederation statues that are just unpleasant, and I can really understand the need to take those down. But this guy is just like, he's just so awesome. I'm so sad. You were so awesome, Derp Tiger. You'll be missed. There. Homage to Derp Tiger. There you go. Oh, I'm so glad you've got the small painting done. Yay! Okay, I will try to draw the amethyst leopard, but I am slow today. This is a slow day. It started way too early for me, and I really didn't sleep well last night. One of those awful nights. Like, you're too hot, too cold, and you wake up, you feel sick, and then you finally go asleep again, and then the cats wake you up again, and it's just, ugh. Oh yeah, we'll sleep really well tonight. New mattress, super tired. Unless I eat something tonight that is gonna really disagree with me, I should really sleep well. I took a really brief nap earlier on when we ended up just like setting the mattress, like putting sheets on it and folding, like we had the laundry to fold, so we folded the laundry, and I just sort of collapsed and fell asleep there, and I had Scout with me, and it was really cute. She made a nest. Like, we had a clean sheet from the previous bed that was a bit smaller, so the sheet is sort of useless, but it was there and it was clean. And Scout was sort of walking on the bed looking for something special in her cat mind. And when she saw the sheet, it clicked. And she really wanted to sleep inside the sheet. So she made sort of a nest. So she was like like, this is the sheet, so you have like a cat-shaped mound in the sheet and like the expanse of the sheet around. And she snuggled and she came to take a nap too, but resting against me. So I took a small nap with my baby cat. That was pretty awesome. I feel like an amethyst leopard is something you would find in a game like Monster Hunter. And I have like this badass, oh, I am a badass leopard. I am not going to be able to draw a badass leopard today. But look at me, I am a badass leopard cat. Wow, wow, awesome. And I have like crystals on me. And I am cool. And I would be like, oh, that leopard is so bad. So cool. I think Guild Wars might have some of these too. Selfie? Yeah, that one or that one? Which one is the selfie? Could be either of these. Yeah, I am a badass leopard. Like, you guys know I work on a comic, right? I must have mentioned it. But I think it's really funny because I don't do the final art for the comic, I do the rough pages, so I don't really have a need to know how to draw things well. I just have to be able to suggest them well enough. So yeah, Amethyst Leopard Monster Hunter inspired would be so awesome, but it's not something I'm going to be able to make happen today. It's a good idea though, I'll write it down. No, that's a ham. Monster... if it doesn't already exist, because that's the kind of thing that they would do. But yeah, like when I draw the deer in the comic, what I basically draw is something like this. That could be the dog, that could be the wolf, but anyway, like I will draw something like this, like antlers and face and unhappy. So that's that's the kind of stuff that I can do in the comic. Oh, selfie of me and Scout asleep. No. But yeah, that was a cute moment. Oh, bye, Paolo. Have fun eating all the good stuff. And like when I draw the wolf, he looks like that. So yeah, I am not... not the one for I really need to... I want to get better though, but there are so many things to draw. Like, gotta get better drawing humans because that's super useful. And then all the felines, but all the felines are like just one type of animal. You gotta learn all the other animals, like the dogs and horses and birds and lizards, and like they all work differently. So there's really a lot of work in there, and I really don't put in the hours for that. Something that I need to work on. Okay, let's think. I'm trying to think. I think I will think as I go get something else to drink. Be right back.
Non, je t'ajoute en fait. David.
Oh, mais ben cute!
C'est son bonheur total. Je vais essayer 2 piles de linge.
Oh, today's blends was some some stream juice, as we've taken to calling it, and it's basically like some sort of vegetable milk, like almond or soy milk with maple syrup or honey, and I had a bit of cocoa in mine, cacao, cocoa. Anyway, the powder. Chocolate powder. Okay, oh yeah, I wanted to mention something. I'm back. Just a quick note, if you guys have Netflix, we've started watching Buddy Thunderstruck on Netflix, and it's pretty awesome. It's kind of a super silly show. It's made to be enjoyable to kids, but it's not like a baby kid show. It's a good kid show that you can watch and enjoy. And it's really dumb, but in a good way, and it's really funny, and it's made all in stop motion. The way Robot Chicken was made. Which is pretty impressive, because that requires some mad skills. And it's really dumb, and it's hilarious, and it's 15 minutes, or like 10 to 15 minutes episodes, and they are bunched together, like you have 2 per actual episodes. So it's pretty awesome. If you have Netflix and you see that it's on, I recommend giving it a try, because it's really funny. It's just funny and absurd and dumb and a lot of fun. And also the documentary series called The Toys That Made Us. Watch all of the episodes, and it's been really interesting and eye-opening. So yeah, TV recommendations. What else? Yeah, stream juice is awesome. Now it's just a cup of water to counter the sugar of the stream juice, but yeah. How about if I swatch my handmade paints that I made? That's something I could do. It's called Buddy. Buddy, like you would. It's Buddy Thunderstruck. And it's basically like these stop motion puppets, and the main character is a dog. And his best friend is called Darnell. And he has a crazy name, and it's a ferret. And they have all sorts of, like, there's the possum mom with her kids, and you have warthog characters. It's really funny. But yeah, Buddy basically looks like that. You have like a dog with ears, and it's a puppet. Like, he has a jacket and he has super long legs. Weep, whoop, and arms. And it's a puppet, so it has like fingers that you can move. And it just looks silly. And it's pretty awesome. It's a lot of fun. Oh, thank you, Otto. Yeah, Otto has put the link in the chat. So by all means, if you can, I recommend checking it out. If you don't like it, well, I tried. But you might realize you end up liking it, and it's a good way to relax at the end of the day, because what goes on in there is not something that will take up a lot of brain energy to process. So yeah, it's good. It's really good. It's really dumb, and it's for kids, so it's not excessively violent. Like it's cartoony violence. Like people will bounce around, but they will be fine, you know, and there won't be blood or stuff like that. It's really a good show, so I recommend that. Okay, so swatching the paints. Okay, I will set up for that. Hold on, I gotta put away Mr. Tiger. And all the rocks I took out. Oh, thanks for all the links, Otto. That's really awesome. It's really, really awesome. I really appreciate it. The Toys That Made Us was a really fun documentary, even if their intro is unbearable. It's a good thing Netflix has an option to skip the intro, because that one is not pleasant. Okay, Ross. Where were you at before? Those over there, this one's here, and let's go fine. Oh, juste pour savoir. Ah, no. Ah. I'm spilling water everywhere. It's not a good thing. Oh, it was a good idea, Avery. I'm so sorry I'm not I'm not really I'm not at a good percentage to make that happen though. I'm really under my usual output. Okay. All right. Should I try swatching my paints on actual good paper? Like find a piece of cotton paper and try them on that rather than the cellulose paper? Because it sort of just dawned on me that I don't think I've seen my paints on good paper, just on terrible paper. Yeah, is it worth the effort, do you think? Oh yeah, Buddy Thunderstruck is it's not even edgy anymore. Like it's not like, it doesn't try to be edgy, it just tries to have fun, and it works super well. And it's really, really dumb and cool. And the episodes are really I'm trying to find a good example of something it could remind you of. But, you know, it's made by the same guys who made Robot Chicken. So, if you are familiar with Robot Chicken, you know what to expect of this show. Oh, good paper it is. What is this paper? Oh, that's Arches. Alright, well, let's just give it a try. It's gonna make for a good reference in any case. Pen, paper, paints. Awesome lip balm, courtesy of Awesome Mud Auto. I was a bit apprehensive, might be too strong of a word, but anyway, I usually don't go for things that are flavored with orange things through the habit of so many of them being awful, but this one, I gotta say, is pretty awesome because it's not overpowering, so yay, great thing. Alright, the sheet of paper is almost too big for my workspace. I hope you guys can see most of it. No place for phone. Yeah, well, it's not claymation, it's stop motion, but claymation is basically stop motion that is made with clay, so there you go. Oh, actual oranges are pretty great. It's just the flavor that is weird sometimes. Same for lemon. Like, lemon, fake lemon or lemon flavor either tastes like soap, like dish soap, or it tastes like lemon. Okay, so that's the current lineup I have. I think I'm pretty sure like everything I've made is in there. Yep. I often keep the ugliest pans for myself. So if they don't look nice, that is why. Because yeah, I don't keep the pretty ones for myself. I keep whatever pan that I don't feel comfortable selling. So yeah, that's the current stash. There are a couple of them that are not magnet yet. Like these three don't have a magnet. These four, sorry, don't have a magnet yet. But for the others, I tried to glue a magnet at the bottom. This one has sparkles in it. I don't know why. Anyway, so yeah, that's the current range of pigments I've molded. Do you eat dish soap too? I try not to. It's not ideal. Okay, so good paper, paints, so I guess a good brush, right? Let's try the Ultimo. Okay, so this one is a Naphthol red that does look ready to pop out of the... See, that's the thing, is it's kind of some pigments, they will stick super nicely to a pan, and others they will decide that they are up for a ride, so it's okay. It's just the thing, like I always feel worried when I sell my paints that people are going to be like, wow, your paints do this weird thing that my other paints don't, and I'm like, yeah, but they're handmade. It's a production based on love and care. And where's my towel? But yeah, of course they're not going to be exactly like the store-bought thing, because definitely don't have the same resources, so... No, the magnets, they don't come already sticky, unfortunately, so I have to use some kind of strong adhesive to put them on the pans. So I will write, I don't know the pigments by heart, but I will try to label all the color so that you can see which is which. And since these are my pans, I usually don't write the pigments on them. So there's that. And the magnets, hold on, I'm just gonna... Be right back. Gosh darn it. Alright. Yes. Sorry. I bought them on AliExpress and it's like really inexpensive and they are really strong magnets. Like I can't even. Okay, I did it. Yay! But like they will stick for real. They are legit strong and they cost like a few bucks for a bunch of them. So yeah, not a joke. Definitely not a joke, these guys. But back in the hole. That too. Alright. I think I prefer the tiny round magnets because they are incredibly strong. Like so strong. And the magnet sheets, they're fine, but they're not as strong. Okay, so Dan wants to know what is the pigment. Pigment. Where are you, Naphtha Red? Okay. It's this one from Camo Pigments. It's Pbr 170. Question, you sell these paints on your Etsy shop, right? Do you sell them in sets? I don't sell them in sets because sets are kind of so much work to put together that I don't have that amount of free time. Well, it's not free because it's time I spend on paints, but yeah, my time allowance for paints doesn't really let me work on sets. But you can create your own set by buying whatever pans you want from the shop when I have stock. Stock is not always present in the shop, but yeah. It could be Perylene Red, but I buy it as Naphtha Red from from Camo, sorry. This is a color blend I made from white and an orange pigment, and I call this one Coral. Man, good paper is awesome. I use the cellulose paper for like sketches and whatever, but truly the feel of good paper, you can't beat that. You really can't. So that's Coral. I don't have a lot of space on this desk, obviously. Alright, sorry for the mess, but yeah, let me know if there are issues with viewing whatever I'm doing. I will try to fix it. Okay, this one, that's Venetian Red. So yeah, the Naphtha Red that I did seems to be fairly transparent. The Coral is definitely more opaque because it has a white in it. It's a mix of orange and white pigments. So it comes off as this more opaque color. The Venetian Red is a bit harder to re-wet, I find. I would have preferred a pigment that was yeah, easier to re-wet, but that's what I got. I think I got this one from Kremer. maybe stop playing with this gradient, because the more I work it, the more it looks like butt. Let's try and make this pretty again. I'm not sure good paper is better than chocolate tea or cats, but when it comes to painting, you really can't beat it. So, did you guys see what happened with Etsy like this past week? How they've decided suddenly to increase their fee and also apply it to the shipping fees now too. So instead of paying 3.5% per transaction, that usually applied only to the cost of the item, now Etsy is gonna charge 5% fee, and it's gonna also apply to the shipping, which is insane and kind of a really weird business practice. They're doing that because there was a lot of cases of people like pricing an item at $2 and having like a $40 shipping, that the shipping was actually the price of the item, and that way they could work around the Etsy fee. So Etsy saw that, and instead of finding ways to punish these people, they decided to punish everyone. And yeah, so basically, yeah, they will they will put a fee on shipping. I cannot wrap my head around the idea. It's so insane. Like, I've never seen that before. Never. And yeah, so I saw that, and I am a really, 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 really small business owner, if you can say that. Like, I don't make a bank with my Etsy shop. Like, I make a bit of money, which is much appreciated and better than a kick in the butt. But for them to sort of spring this on me was sort of the last nail in the coffin. And I decided that I will try selling my paints and originals and prints through my own shop. And I am working on setting that out. Setting that up. So it's not done yet. It's a work in progress, but I got the shop part working, and I only have to like put better graphics in place of the placeholder ones I've put there. Because I was just testing it out, and I put like whatever pictures I had that would work, but they could definitely be improved. So I will soon replace all my links, all my shop links, with the new one, because I'm not gonna stay with Etsy. If a company that flaunts the fact that it helps small businesses starts caring more for their shareholders than their small businesses, they can take a hike. Oh yeah, and they put selling tools behind 2 paywalls. So now you have Etsy free, that's just like the super basic stuff. And they've set up 2 levels of subscription that will give you more features. I'm like, what? And I hate this. I hate this hypocrite. What? My brain just farted. I cannot find the word. But anyway, the fact that they always say like, oh, small businesses, we help you, we make it possible for you to have a small business and have a bit of money from it. It's all BS. It's all like, I mean, they tell themselves that to sleep at night, but that's basically all it does. Yeah, they're doing a YouTube. I think they're doing a Patreon, but Patreon was hit with so much backlash that they had to revert it back, because like it was just not a good move. But I'm tired of that, you know. So that's one of the reasons that I decided that perhaps I should finally invest. It's a bit of money, but maybe if I could invest a bit of money on my own website, I would stay ahead of all these dumb problems that they always bring on the users. And then you have to transfer all your stuff to a new platform and learn a whole new way of doing things, and it's time, and it's not time that is necessarily there for them to spring this one on me. So yeah, I was really angry. I was so angry. Yeah, eBay is a nice, well, it's not pretty, but it's a working platform, especially if you're looking for vintage stuff. But from my perspective of being in Canada, it's really gross. The shipping for things is just insane. Like something that costs like $25 is gonna cost $25 to ship to Canada. And I'm like, that's a bit intense, wouldn't you say? Like, yeah, sure, of course I want to pay $50 for something that is worth $25. Like, if it was $10 shipping, but is sort of the standard fee in general for most things, I might be okay with it, because I'm like, yeah, that's the cost of the thing getting to me. But $25 for shipping, yeah. Was not happy about that. I know Snowbird is saying that it's so sad because there are so many cute little shops with beautiful items, and now this. I completely agree. I am so bummed out because I bought and I buy a lot of things on Etsy from other small businesses, other crafters and other artists, and you know, I was, first of all, they're gonna have to increase their prices just to cover up this increase in fee, and it's just gonna make it like even less of a good experience for the customer. Ooh. Have you heard YouTube is doing their own Patreon? No, I had not. I don't think I would want to switch to that though, even if Patreon is not great. Like, none of them is great. They're all... Ko-fi is still good, but even they have now sort of a gold feature membership thing that gives you a bit more tools for customization, but at least it doesn't remove... Sorry, it doesn't remove anything from what you can use. I'm sorry. I need water. Oh yeah, but Tsukabu, I'm possibly gonna be able to sell my paints on my own website, so that's gonna be better. Like, I am not gonna remove the shop, I'm just gonna move it elsewhere. That perhaps comes with less of a platform, but hopefully through doing videos on YouTube and perhaps mentioning it more often, it will stay. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, perhaps through all of that I will be able to still bring enough people to my own shop to be able to sell my paints. If you have any questions about the colors I'm swatching, feel free to ask. I think I'm not on camera. Okay, hold on. This is ridiculous. Okay. YouTube sponsor, I don't think is available to me as a Canadian for now. Oh, hi, Jacqueline. Hi. Okay. Am I back in frame? I think I'm back in frame. There's a good difference with swatching these paints on good paper. And yeah, it really makes you love good paper. Like, I stand by my paints, and I'm really happy with my paints, and I think they are perfectly good paints and professional quality, as long as the pigment is not fugitive, like looking at you, Alizarin Crimson. But yeah, swatching them on good paper is really different. Like, the salmon is really not the same color. Or perhaps my salmon is kind of old and weird. Are you old and weird? You look old and weird. Anyway. Yeah, networking, that's really a keyword, James Barton. Have you tried mimic brushes? No, I haven't, because I haven't found them in Canada. And Jackson doesn't have them, and basically, if Jackson or Canadian shops don't have it, I can't really try it. Okay, this is Apricot. I've just made a new batch of Apricot. I think it's weird because I made this one, like, it's one of the first paints that I made, what, about a year ago? When I first got my Muller, it's one of the first pigments I wanted to try because I loved the color of the pigment. But I haven't made it again since, so it was funny to revisit this pigment with my improved paint recipe. And yeah, it's kind of a weird one because it's a mix of 3 pigments, but it's still fairly transparent and it's still a beautiful color. It's made by the Society of French Ochres, Société des Ochres de France, something like that. Yeah, my salmon is actually quite weird. I'm a bit, is that really salmon? Yeah, mine. I'm used to it being really more of a sort of an obnoxious color, like it's really in your face. And this doesn't strike me as the proper color. So what's up with that? Is this a bit more like it? I think that's more like it. Yeah, that feels more like salmon, doesn't it? I used the like this side of my pan because I feel like the top perhaps has been contaminated with another color. It looks really darker and weird, so I'm not sure what's up with that. Like I said, I don't keep the best pans for myself, so maybe I messed up. Yeah, that's such a weird patch of salmon. Like, that's the color I'm used to, and I don't know what that is. I think I'm just gonna have to perhaps... yeah, I think I might have to, like, wet the top and just scrape it off. Weird. Aw. Good point. Stephen is saying, should the best quality paper... Okay, try again. Should the best quality paper be used for swatching? He thinks the analogy of looking at nice guitar. Guitar? I can't speak today. You would not test them by plugging into a cheap amplifier. That's a really good analogy. Yeah, same. Same with me then. I like either the pans that didn't dry quite well or that were not full or weird. They're usually the ones I keep for myself, so that might explain why the Salmon was kind of weird. Maybe it's smoked and unsmoked. That's a good one. What paints are these? These are the handmade paints I've made so far. It's my own like collection of the paints I made. I try to keep one pan of each color I make to at least have that as a reference. But as I was saying, I don't keep the best pans for myself. Like I keep the weird half full cracked ones, or the one that I knocked and it spilled. You know, the weird stuff, that's the ones I keep. I mean, the paint is still good, it's just the pan is not super pretty, so that's all it is. Cognitive faculty today. They're not working well. Oh, bye, Chini. I hope your appointment goes well. Okay, so that one was Hokkaido Orange. Is it 2K? Is Hokkaido with 2 Ks? Brain fart. Okay, I will wait for Otto's wisdom on that. Oh, hi! Hold on. What's up? No? Come on, pigeon girl. Look what I found. Look what I found. A baby cat. No, don't put your paw in the paint. You can put your paw on the camera. Hi, I'm a baby cat. I'm super annoying. I do poo 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 all the time. Meow 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 meow. Hmm? Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, there is a lag. Sorry. Hokkaido, yeah, 2 Ks. Hokkaido. Was the orange paint like a really early paint of yours? Well, this one, the Hokkaido Orange or the Apricot? Because the Apricot was really early and the Orange was not super early, but what's a grown woman cat? So this is one of the very first colors I mixed, and I think this pan is a composite of the very first time I mixed it and like subsequent pourings. When I had a tiny bit of paint left, I just added it in there. So it's a really weird hodgepodgey mix of various batches of this paint. Hopefully it will behave well and not be too seems to be some kind of grit, but it could be that I'm using the paper on the wrong side too. That's an option. But that's Spanish gold ochre. And I think my paper is dusty too. Like I noticed some kind of weird deposits. So basically I'm doing a really poor job of representing my paints right now. Sorry, paints. It's really hard to say with arches, but I think I'm on the good side. Yeah. It should really be Hokkaido. Huh. Yeah, it really gets misspelled everywhere. Oh, bye Mary, thank you so much for being there. Stephen asks, did you see the video by Denise where the Umbers made so many nice mixes with other strong colors? I think I have. I think it's one of her latest video, right? Dan, are you saying that big companies don't represent their paints well and they still do fine? Oh no. Okay, so that's light ochre. Oh no. Oh no. I know it's kind of weird in French to have the OU spelling, because if it's meant to sound like a long O sound, in French OU sounds like oo, not O. So it's not Hokkaido, it's Hokkaido. So perhaps that's why they kind of misspell it. Not paint companies, just companies in general. That's a good point. That's a fair enough point. Then again, I guess that they have the profits to soak up more of their mistakes. This one is Zircon Yellow. It's as bright of a yellow as I can mix right now. Though I haven't tried mixing benzimidazolone yellow on its own. I've only used it in mixes. She spelled it without the U. But don't you think that like most people outside of Japan would have spelled it like canoe instead of kano? Okay, so where to next? I did these. Yeah, the order in my box is not super great, so I'll continue with the greens. So this one is another. I didn't even label the pan. Yep, that's me. That's the green gold I mixed. What did I mix it from? Do I remember? I don't remember. I think it's possibly a yellow and a earth pigment. That's basically my green gold version. Oh, Oh, Jacqueline, you send in a picture of your pets, did you, Jacqueline? I really need to update my stuff, but I tried sketching some things at the beginning, but I'm super tired today, so it's not a great day for trying to make sense with drawings. Oh, the cat is back. The cat came back the very next day. The cat came back. It won't go away. Pickle! Mm. Oh, it itches. Yep, these are all handmade. These are all the paints I made myself. And most of them were available in the shop when I made them. And I am working on building a bit more stock to have some more in the shop. So I will mention it when I get to the pans in there that will be in the next update. I know that there will be apricot. So this one, salmon, what else? And a few more colors that we will get around to. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Hey, the kitten is back. So that's Chromium Oxide Green. I think this color gets a really bad rep, but I don't know why. I think it's quite pretty. I know it's opaque, but it's granulating and it's really nice, and it's super cool. Not cool in the sense of cold, but super awesome muted green. Yeah, Dan understands the pain of building stock for a shop update. Okay, so I gotta clean up this one because it's sparkly for some reason. Comment ça? Meow, meow. Ouais. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Attends. Attends, là. Attends. Nope. Ow, 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 you have claws. You big clawy monster. What's the other crap that goes with having stock? Is it shipping stuff out or listing all this stuff? Listing is kind of a pain in the butt. Taking the pictures for the listing is the pain in the butt, actually. This one is limestone green. Pickle! Ah, she's so annoying. Yeah, Scout will murder me if I try to hold her like that, but Pico is usually fine with it. She's scratching her head. Really loudly. Oh, bye, Avery. Thank you so much for being there. I hope you had a great time. Again, I apologize for being a bit slow and tired today. I will definitely try to do better next time. Wrapping paints, taking the picture, uploading it all, dealing with people. I don't mind the wrapping and upload. The pictures though, the thing is with pictures that I always forget about them and then the pans are wrapped and I really don't want to unwrap them to take pictures. What's the big drama, Peko? Oh, she's stuck in there. Du vill satsa? Sa? Hej. 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 Yeah, Peko is the same colors as my paint. Oops, sorry. Okay, this is one of my favorites. It's Nicosia Green. Anyway, it's one of the PG23 pigments, like the rare green earth and the green earth pigment, but I really like the hue of this one. It's a bit more difficult to re-wet and it's not the most tinting paint ever, but it's just the prettiest shade of soft green. I really like it. I think it's beautiful. Want to do a wrapping? Oh, I would if I could, and I really don't mind the wrapping part. Let me know if you guys get bored with this stuff. We can think of something else to do, I'm pretty sure. I really don't mind swatching the colors, but I don't want to bore you guys either. It's Nicosia, Nicosia. I think you bought it, Otto, recently. I'm pretty sure I've seen it in your stash. It's beautiful. Paolo, tell me, how is soup not cooking? Do you have like magic soup that you just heat up and eat? What's the story with the soup? Okay, I will do this a bit. Just the board is watching. That will never happen. This one is another rare green earth type of pigment. This is Brenton Eco Green Earth. It's if you compare, I don't know if I can get the two of them in the same, but it's basically the same pigments, but as you can tell, this one is a lot more minty, while this one is a lot more green. Oh, it's Nicosia, Nicosia. I don't mind repeating. Not an issue. Magic soup from yesterday. That's clever. I never have leftovers. Okay, so this one is a weird one. It's Ancient Green Earth, and for some weird reason, this pigment decided that it would protrude outside of the pan. Possibly just because it can and it wants to spite me. But it's again, it's the same. I think I have an obsession with the Green Earth pigments. I know they are harder to wet and a bit of a pain in the butt, but I like them. This one is even more brown. That's pretty cool. It's all the same pigment. Oh, it's beautiful. Nicosia Green Earth is gorgeous. Really nice color. So, I'm gonna move these guys over here. do I have any more greens in there? I'm gonna keep the weird ones for the end. Weird, 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 weird. There you go. Okay, so this one. Will that Prussian blue of yours be available on Etsy sometime? Yeah, sure. I'm gonna have a few pans of Prussian green for next update, but like really a few. But yeah, I will mix more Prussian blue eventually. It's a pain in the butt to mix, but it's such a pretty color. It's also not super nice for the marine life. I think it's kind of toxic for marine life, so I feel bad when I make it because I have to rinse it off the slab, and that makes for a bigger amount than just regular paint use. But I will see, perhaps I will find a way to make some mono printing of my slab, and in that sense that would save up a lot of the pigment, but since it's a really staining color to mole, there's still a lot of it that stays stuck on the slab. Okay, this one was one of the experiments. I don't know if you remember, but I had a couple of paints that I wanted to just try mixing in white with them and see where that would take me. And this is one of them. It's the one we called Matcha Latte. It's basically a bunch of weird pigments and white. Oh, hi, April. Sap green, phthalo blue, and rose of ultramarine. Did you try to mix them out like just for fun on a sheet of paper, Jacqueline? Just like to play with them and see how they mix? The only thing I would just mix it to make sure is just to see if some of these colors, like, do they create some weird browns at some points? And if so, to be careful of that. But aside from that, they are all pretty colors. Yeah, Nicosia is a kind of terre verte. Okay, after matcha latte, I'm gonna try mint. This one I made when I did the coral one and the green gold one. It's a rather opaque color because it's mixed in with white, but I don't really mind that. I don't think that's an issue that some colors are opaque. It's just a feature of the paint. And you can deal with that as a painter. I'm sorry about all this squeaky. I should maybe ask for a new chair for my birthday next time. Okay, so this one was another one of our weird experiments like matcha latte. Not the mint one, but this one that I just called light blue. I think it was a leftover of mixing Prussian blue with white. So this one I'm gonna have a few of them at next shop update. Matcha latte as well. Even Chinese white is bad for marine life. Ugh, that's so depressing. I'm so sorry, fishes. Okay, this one I called the ice blue. It's Indian throne blue and white mixed together. It's kind of a close to lavender when you really look at it. And I'm gonna have a few pans of that one at the next update. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with the blue colors next. Just gonna try to find them in this mess. Oh no, wait, I should have put Prussian green. Crud. Okay, Prussian green. It's not a single pigment, it's a mix of pigment that I made myself. Oh, that's so nice, Tsukabu. Thank you. Well, thank to your mom, but thank you for telling me. See, it might not look that green when you look at it that way, but I'm gonna swatch Prussian blue just underneath, and you'll be able to tell the difference right away. The rose of ultramarine and sap green don't mix. I think rose of ultramarine would be perhaps a bit more difficult to use for glazing because of the ultramarine that's in it. Like, ultramarine blue is not a staining color, so when it comes to glazing, it's not awesome for that. Aw, thank you, Otto! Any garnet or fuchsite or amazonite? Nope. I tried to do garnet and it's like the hardest pigment I ever bought, and all it did was mark my I have a metal pestle and mortar, and it just like abraded it. I didn't even do a dent in the pigment, I just messed up my equipment. So yeah, it's too hard. I know that Kramer sells it, but they sell it for people who have perhaps the equipment to take care of it, which is not my situation. So yeah, you can see the difference between Prussian green and Prussian blue. Oops, and I forgot to align my swatches properly. I apologize. Hi, Lena. Okay, then I'm gonna have one that I haven't milled in forever, mostly because it's a lot of work and it's kind of stinky, and then we'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But it is indigo, genuine. Fuchsite actually chipped my Muller. Oh no! Oh no! What? I think I should look into getting some actual gamboge eventually, even if gamboge is not light fast, because it would complement well my sort of duo of favorite colors that are not light fast. It is composed of alizarin crimson and indigo. Indigo is just, you cannot reproduce this color with anything. It's just so beautiful. I think okay, just to chime in about the discussion of the paint making discussion, quick explanation. You've seen the videos about making paints, most of you, and you've seen the process, how it goes, and how it's about having a surface, and you put the pigment, and you put the binder and a bit of water, and you mold it with the molar, and it grinds the pigment finer, and it mixes it with everything, like the binder and the honey and all that. So that's the process. The issue is that some pigments are really, really hard. One of them being garnet, and from what I gather, fuchsite is also really difficult to mold. Like, probably that these stones are much harder. But the thing is that Daniel Smith offers these paints as, well, these stones as paint in their Primatic range. And when you try the Primatic range, the colors are beautiful. They're super bright, they're super like pigment loaded and super vivid, but when you try making the paints on your own, they don't look nearly, like they don't look close, not at all. So some people have been wondering if Daniel Smith is cheating on its claim that these are made only from the stones, and wondering if perhaps something else is added in there to make the color better. I know that I think that what Daniel Smith does is genuine. I just think that they have better equipment and they have a process where they can wash and clean away all the dust and impurities that are with the stones. Because I remember the whatever I tried to do with my garnet pigment, if you look at the stones, there was like the red color in there, but there was also a lot of other colors that were duller, like more pink, more gray, definitely things that are part of this stone but that are not part of the paint that Daniel Smith sells. So I think that with their process they probably have ways to filter and clean and grind and separate all this extra stuff from what is actually just the garnet thing. So that's just my 2 cents. This one is Indenthrone Blue. I'm gonna have a few of these in my next update because it's a relatively new color, and yeah, I think I made this one in the live stream too, so there's probably a record of that in the video library. When do you think you will have your paints back up on Etsy? I'm not gonna have paints back up on Etsy. I'm gonna move store to my own store, but I'm really working hard on having an update soon. So I will try to really get it updated soon, but yeah, these things take time. The paint takes a lot of time to dry, and you have to pour many layers of paint. Like I did a pour this week, but it's clearly not dry. So you basically have between I have to wait about a week, if not more, for a pan to dry, and I usually do 2 or 3 pours. So it can take up to a month for pans to be ready. So it's definitely not a fast process. It's really slow. Okay, and the last blue I have is ultramarine blue. It's the tiniest leftover pan. It's a bit more difficult to work the paint in a shallow pan like that, but yeah. Have you tried making egg tempera paint? Nope, I haven't. I usually just eat the eggs. Okay, I'm gonna move on with the purpley colors. Oh, that's so cool! Linux Switch is saying that they just got their set of 24 Renaissance today. They are very happy with them so far. I know that April was in the chat earlier, so I think she's gonna be happy to see that. Okay, to follow up with ultramarine blue, the next one is ultramarine violet. Okay, the next one I have is one of the mix I made. It's called Amethyst. It's a mix of a purple and a gray color. And you'll see the kind of color it comes up with. It's not made from actual amethyst because that's probably really difficult to mold and a pain in the butt like we just discussed. But I wanted to try making a color with dioxazine purple, but not full-on dioxazine purple because I was super worried that it would not dry well. So I made it with sort of not a filler because it's not a filler, but a pigment that I knew would be overpowered by the violet. And I'm quite happy with this color. It's the kind of purple I like. Oh no! Okay, so Tsukabu is saying that their cat is still mad at them from yesterday. Rowdy's the cat. I've doodled him in a past live stream, but Rowdy has to go out on a leash, and there was an unexpected stick in the yard. He reacted like those cats in the cucumber videos. Today he's still mad at me, like it was my fault. That is such a cat thing to do. That's so funny. Okay, the next one is Manganese Violet. Now, I think this is one I did like kind of in the beginning, and I don't think my recipe for this one turned out as well as I would have liked. I think it's really hard to re-wet and not super strong, but that's possibly mostly my fault. I think the paint would be fine if I just wet it and let it sit, but most of us when we paint we want to use the OC. That's just bad news. I'm gonna have to redo this one. I'm sorry. The thing that like the process is already long enough that I don't have the freedom of waiting for like a few months to see what the paints look like. This is really bad news. And also, if you see that and you think that, well, I don't want to buy her paints because I don't know what might happen, if you have an issue with a paint, just let me know. And we're going to work something out. Either I will send you a better pan from a better batch, or I will just refund the faulty paint. Okay, then it's like the more neutral colors. These are grays and black, and I think these are the brownish ones. Yeah, okay. So I will definitely put some water on this one and let it sit, and then we can see what happens after. I don't know if dioxazine had problem drying, but I had so much trouble with some of the mix I tried that I was kind of really worried. And also, I mean, it's a really strong pigment, so I didn't know if I had a need to make it 100% dioxazine. I will definitely try to make mixes with more of it, but I think I will do it in increments so I don't have to deal with a pigment that is not collaborative right at the beginning. Okay, so this one is French ochre. It's basically a beige color. It's a bit more difficult to wet, mostly because it's not a super strong color. but it's a really nice color, and it's nothing compared to the manganese, which is really sad. Oh, bye, James. Just found out I'm having company today. Did they just like show up? Hi, we're here. Am I still in frame? Okay. Oh, I forgot about these. Oh no. Okay. So much for me trying. Okay, let's bring in these guys over here. Am I? Yeah, okay. Still visible. Which one is that? That's Potus Pink. I'm gonna have pans of Potus Pink in the next batch. They worked well, perhaps not as nice as the first batch I did, but that could be a thing about the pigment, and it's really not in my control. But the new batch I made, if you wet it and you just wait for a few moments, it really wets nicely. I did a swatch test yesterday. Where is it? Oh no, Hercule Poirot. But thank you so much for being there. I hope you have a great weekend. Okay, so let's see, this is the swatch I did of the one I made recently. I think it ended up being more granulating than the first one I made. But it's still really like easy to re-wet. I just hope that it won't dry like a super hard stone. Like the pan I just swatched is kind of old and it still re-wets nicely. So I hope that the new one I made will be as fun to use. Okay, next I have Mars Violet. Question, what is the color in the second column, third from the top? 1, 2, 3, this one? That's light ochre. Do you find that the more you mold, the less binder you need? Like, if a pigment already has loads of binder but still rubs off, that mulling more help? Yep. It happens a lot with Prussian blue. Like, usually you can tell with the visual test. Like, if you swatch the paint and it still has like these clusters in it, that's because it needs more mulling. If the paint is super smooth but still rubs off, it might need more binder still. This one is Augit Porphyry Light Violet. I don't really know how to say that properly, but it's really muted gray violet. Oh, Eep. 3 AM. Wow, Snow Sparkle Gems, thank you so much for being there. And yeah, go get some rest. This one is brown ochre, and I'm gonna pick up here. So how do you guys feel about what I said about the Manganese Violet? Like, if you were to buy handmade paints and after a few months one of them is not behaving as you would expect, what would you do? Dan, you don't keep a swatch of every color you make? A pan of every color you make? Sorry. Oh no, I asked the question and it's like dead silent. If you would be absolutely offended, tell me. I'm not gonna get mad. I'm just trying to get a feel for the reaction, because it's not something that is easy to get a lot of feedback on. Like, not a lot of the feedback I get is from like people who've just gotten paints, so it's kind of interesting to get either hypothetical opinions, like if this would happen, what would you do, or just any kind of input is appreciated. Okay, I will ask the question again. Perhaps that will help, but I tried to paint the swatch here, as you can see, of Manganese Violet, and it came out super duper light. And that's not the way it's supposed to go. So I was wondering, say if you were to buy a paint, and after a few months, like the paint worked fine, but as it further dried completely, it became unusable in that sense. Like, instead of having a strong Manganese Violet color, you get this light color and the pan doesn't want to soften. What would you do? Would you just keep it and be sort of sad and angry about it? Would you write to the person who made the paints and inquire about it? Would you just be angry on the internet about it? I'm just curious to know what your reaction would be. And if your reaction would be to be offended and annoyed and say, I don't want to buy from this person anymore, that's okay. I just want to know what what do you stand in regards to that, because I know where I would stand, but I'm just one person, so. Geez, I'm not sure we'll have enough room on this for all the swatches. Poop. Yeah, it changed over time. It was easier to work at the beginning, and then it sort of dried really hard and doesn't really want to be wet well. Yeah, I think that whatever you painted with the paint at first, that would not have changed. It's not a light fastness issues. It's a physical issue with the paint. Like the cake, the paint in the pan is super dry and hard. and it doesn't want to re-wet. It stays dry and hard, regardless of the effort you put in working it. Okay, cool. Contact the seller and see if there can be an exchange or just replace it. Okay. Be angry, would write you about it. Because I'm passive-aggressive British, I would keep quiet, but probably not buy from them again. Okay, good to know. No, I appreciate. Depends on how much I spent on it. Sometimes things happen. Well, there is no usable pigment there. Would be sad and write to the person that made it, inform them about the problem. I won't really give a damn. Well, assuming it's a color you like that you buy. I think if it's a color I know often dries rock hard, I would chalk it up to a learning experience. Contact the seller. Hi Fiona and Dryad and Stacy. I would be disappointed and then ask if it's normal for that color. If I knew about the issues, I wouldn't be mad because I would be aware of what can happen. Otherwise, I would contact the seller. But if it was like that right at the start, when I received it, or soon after, probably contact the seller. But good. I'm happy to see that most of you would contact the person. Because I think it's just an issue with this batch that I made. Like, there's definitely something off with it. And it was like before I decided on a more intelligent way of doing paints. Like this was from my stupid stage. Yeah, so you see I've let it sit with water and mine has a crack in it and all the water just seeps into the... I can get a tiny bit more color from it, but it's definitely not what it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna put this one aside to remember to work on it. This is not good. I'm just glad that so far it hasn't happened with any other color. Like, I have a lot of these since quite some time and like there hasn't been a lot of issues with them. So I'm glad for that, but that manganese one, I'm really sad. Not because I'm sad because I'm like, oh, it's I'm just sad because it means maybe people will be disappointed with their paint. And that's not a cool thing. I would much rather people be happy with their paints if I can help it. Thank you for all the answers. That was really interesting to see. Yeah, I tried leaving some color in it, but it just doesn't want to. Where is it? Oh, yeah. I will experiment more with this color. Like, I'm due to make a new batch, and if it works out fine with this new method of making paints that I've refined since then, well, I will keep a few on hand to issue exchanges to people who bought the first batch. It's the only paint that give me this kind of problem. So, oh yeah, guys, Dan and Otto, if you have this pigment, watch out for it, because it might be worth the effort of making a super small batch at the beginning just to see how it dries. And that way, if it doesn't pan out properly, you can adjust and you're not stuck with a big batch of something. Yeah, I sold a few of these because at first the paint was fine. I mean, I was able to use it and it would re-wet just normally, you know. But I think I got a few comments about it, and I was still able to work it well. This is the first time I've used it. Okay, again, this is the first time I've used it in a while, and I really didn't expect it to be this bad. Like, it's really lighter than I would expect. Even if it was harder to re-wet, I didn't expect it to be this light. So that's definitely like not something that I could have planned for, because I didn't know it would do that. If I had known, I would not have sold the pans. But as it seemed fine at the beginning, I sold a batch of those. And I'm not a bit happy about it because it didn't work out well for the paint. So I'm really sad about that. I hope I can make better batch of this paint. It's a nice color. So yeah. So what was this one? Burnt umber, huh? Question, can you try if adding Oxide would help? It might help if the paint wasn't dry in a pan. If you mix the paint and it's still liquid and wet, burnt umber, huh? Then maybe adding Oxide, more honey, or glycerin might help with the hardness factor. But yeah, I'm gonna have to figure it out. I will start anew with my current way of making paints, and I might really let this one wait a while to compare, see if there is a like. You can, if you want to test the paint, you can make a dot card, and it's gonna dry faster, and you can perhaps see better how it behaves when it's fully dry. Can you go back and see who purchased it and email them? I could, yeah, I could. I have that history in my Etsy infos. Okay, so the next colors, this one is fine. This one I know is a bit harder to wet. It's the only gemstone color that I was able to make that does not totally suck butt. But it's still not great. It's jade. It's nothing like the stone, it's more like gray, but yeah. So I won't have room to fit all of these. Bummer. I might make smaller swatches. Yeah. These are grays and blacks. Nobody cares about those, right? Okay, so this one is slate gray. It's a very light color. Doesn't help that it's a light gray, and it doesn't help times two that it's kind of hard to re-wet a bit. I got this one from Kremer, and I think I'm gonna try the one from Kama next time. See if it's any easier to work. Yeah, it's a bit like a rock, the manganese one. It's really hard. It's not brittle, it won't break, but it's really just not working. Yeah, the jade is weird. I'm not sure if I want to offer it again. Oh, bye April. Have a great time at the post office. I revitalized the pan of cobalt violet with adding... interesting. I'll keep note of that. Okay, so that's slate. Okay, I will... I don't want to use my good brush for the jade though, because it's super rough. So I will be using the workhorse brush. That is the Royal and Langnickel Zen brush. Yeah, the jade was not a super fun experience to mold. And it's not really mind-blowing as a paint. It dries really rough on the paper, like when you pass your fingers over it, it feels like a rough patch. That's kind of weird. Oh, yours was sparkly. Mine is not sparkly. I'm a bit bummed out. Okay, so how many do I have left? Okay, good. I apologize for the sudden change of format, but you will still be able to see the colors. So this one is green umber. It's another one I got from Kama. Ooh! Oh, dagger brushes are so cool. I really like dagger brushes. So this one is gray ochre. Is green umber single pigment? Yes. This one is pewter. Pewter. I don't know how to say this. I release my pigment numbers. It's not a trade secret, it's just that I don't know them by heart for most of them. I really don't like when people keep the pigments a trade secret. I think that's just dumb. It's not like you're gonna invent a pigment, and it's really useful information for all the professional painters. So, yeah. Am I still in frame? Yes, okay. Cool. Okay, so the green umber. It's Pbr 7. It's this one. I think this might be the other problematic pigment that worked really fine at the beginning and then gave me trouble. It's Mars Black, but I am not sure. Well, we will know for sure in a few more. Oh yeah, that doesn't look good. Oddly enough, I think they were made at roughly about the same time. But yeah, it's been problematic. Yeah, it's not great. What if I try scraping the top off? Question: when will your paints be available for purchase? When they are dry, wrapped, photographed, and ready to go. As soon as possible, basically. I still have to wait for them to dry and take pictures and wrap them up. Okay, is that it? Oh, that's a lot better. Well, that's something I should try with the manganese. See if it's only a top layer problem. Ah, yeah, I'm glad. I thought my Mars Black was a dud as well, but it's only the top layer that's duddy. Oh yeah, Rowdy has forgiven Tsukabo. That's great news. Cats are so silly with their weird grudges. I am mad at you for no reason, except that I am a cat. Meow. Cremer does not provide IDs. Cremer is weird with some of its colors. Is that the thing? I agree. Danny's saying that the weather is really screwing with the drying time of mine. It's screwing with the drying time of mine too. Like, I am not looking forward to summer because of that. Like, it's so humid and gross around here that pans just don't dry ever. And yeah. So people are like, hey, when are you gonna have paints? And I'm like, I wanna have paints, but they don't wanna dry. Wah. This one is one of my favorites. This is Van Dyke Ved. Yeah, sure, that's what I wanted to write. Van Dyke Brown. It's from Kama as well, and it's one of my favorite pigments that they have because it's just so dark and beautiful and rich. And the last one, can you believe it? This one is Vine Black. Yay! Okay, I will try to scrape away the top of the manganese now that I've gotten super curious about it. Come here, you. It's all so soft and pliable now that I've dunked it in water for like forever. Okay. That's gross. Okay, I'm hopeful. I don't know about you guys, but I'm hopeful. If this could fix the issue, I would be a really happy camper. It's making these gross floopy sounds. Okay, are you guys ready? Oh. Huh. Well, what do you know? Yay! So fine, that's great. I have a fix. If anyone writes to me with issues about their pan, I can just say, wet the top, scrape it off, and the paint underneath should work fine. Yay! We fixed it, guys! How great is that? I think that's great. Okay, I'm biased, but still. Ta-da! It worked! I cannot believe it. It worked. Just gonna put this aside for now. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Look at this. This is legit, quite legit, I find. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but that's really not bad. So that's the full range of the paints I've made. Oh wait, no, that's not the full range, but it's the full range of the paints I've sold. Because I've made a couple of colors that I don't plan on selling. So I'm not gonna show them. The top layer was probably mostly dried binder. And it really was more difficult to soften. But if you can soak it in water enough, like wet the top, let it soften a bit, scrape the first layer off, underneath it's much easier to work. So that's excellent news. We figured out something. That's kind of cool. So which one is your favorite? They look delicious. Paints. Oh wow. Can you guys see how this one looks? It's really not... Is it? Yeah, it's kind of similar to the new one. Sorry. All of them, the. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, you know what? I'm looking at my Spanish gold ochre, and I think it might have a case of discrepies as well. I think I might have to scrape off the top. But then again, like I told you, my Spanish gold ochre is a special kind of pan that is not like, I wouldn't have sold that one because it was like the remnant and the leftovers and the weird bits, but yeah. Salmon could also possibly be in the same situation. But yeah, overall I'm quite happy, and I've learned and I'm still learning, and I hope I can keep on learning. Like, I love my amethyst. Amethyst, yeah, my amethyst, but there is a bit of a weird thing that happens, possibly because of the filler paint. I don't really mind that kind of effect, but still, if some people mind this stuff, they might be disappointed. Again, all the earth colors are generally easier to mold, and it shows because they are super smooth and super nice. And like, if you look at all the ochres and the browns, and like Mars Orange and Mars Violet are super easy to mold. So yeah, and there's a Peko hair in there, of course. Oh, a lot of love for Indian Throne. Oh, nice. Spanish gold ochre and the Mars Violet. The first red, the teal near the bottom of the second row. It's a green, so perhaps not the best view on camera. And then I missed it. I missed the end. Oh no. And whatever that blue is, almost at the bottom of the second column. Yeah, this is a bit like phthalo green. Of course, Sam. Sam says that his favorite is the Manganese Violet, aka the one that gave me trouble. Yeah, I made all of these. Well, I mold all of these. I would consider, like, I made the ones that are perhaps the mix that I put together, like Prussian green and green gold and coral and mint and amethyst. I consider those more like I made these. I forgot all the weird colors, but I'm out of space. Well, I can still show them, like, quickly. Just gonna, for the weird ones though, I'm gonna use some scrap paper. I'm sorry, but just quickly. I just want to show them more than use them. But I tried to make glow in the dark paint, and this is what I ended up with. It doesn't work super nice. It's not ideal, and my water is really gross. I think I still have purple in my brush too. Oh, so anyway, oh no, I have a purple paint blob on my brush, so that explains it. But yeah, I bought a teeny tiny like package of glow in the dark paint, and I'm not sure what will happen, but yeah, it doesn't really sort of close if I bring it super close, and you can see that a bit of it ends up, I don't know if it shows on camera, I hope it does. Boop. Oh yeah, you can see a bit of the glowy, but yeah, it's not awesome. So I tried that, and I made a bunch of sparkly paints. I made even more than that, but these are the two I have in this box. So yeah, the sparkly paints are kind of difficult to layer in a super smooth application, but they're really fun to mix in other colors. And also, this is not the best picture, but what I thought was perhaps the most curious was the thing I tried with split pans. So I would fill pans sometimes and end up with half of a pan in. Oh, hi Dory! Yay! So I basically would put half of the pan, this one is half burnt sienna and half ultramarine blue. And you can basically like create your muted color on the fly. And if you want it more brown, you try to mix it a bit more on the brown side. And if you want it more blue, you mix it more on the blue side. And I don't think that was such a bad idea, but I haven't made these a lot. And it works well for these two. But then I decided to try, and I had a couple of leftover Mars Black thing that I had another color next to it to see what would happen. So this one is like Mars Black and Prussian blue, but maybe the Mars Black has dried super dry, super hard, and still needs to be like scraped off like I did the other one. Anyway, the Prussian blue works really well. That's for sure. The black side, be less so. I was experimenting, like, you know, with the Lunar Blue and the Lunar Violet. It's basically Mars Black with a color, a staining color in it. So that's what I was sort of playing with. And I did the same thing with the green here. But yeah, it's, and again, Mars Black is super hard. Ah, see, that's a bit better. So yeah, you can tweak your mix on the fly in the same palette. This one was with ultramarine violet. Look! I tried to put some water on the Mars Black and it just beads off. That's not a good sign. So yeah, I think that's kind of fun. To have these colors sort of in the same pan, but not pre-mixed, so you can really have a bit more lively mixes, because you mix it as you go along. I haven't bought the ultramarine green yet. I'm super excited for it, but also it's like super precious. But oh, I can't wait. Okay, so that was the the weird experiment ones. I think it's kind of interesting on its own, but yeah. That was the weird stuff. And I'm gonna put back the good stuff. There. Alright, so do you have any more questions for me today? If you don't have any more questions, I'm gonna call this a day. And yeah, I will try to be a bit more put together for the next one. I'm really sorry about that. I really had not planned on sleeping so little and so badly. I would much prefer to have good nights of sleep. So yeah, so next shop update should have some apricot and salmon and Indian throne blue and a few matcha lattes, light blue and ice blue, a Prussian green, a few pans, and maybe some others. I feel like I'm missing a few in there too, so it's gonna be a surprise and it's not gonna be on Etsy, but I will announce it in time. And I'm gonna have it on my brand new shop space. Yeah, my brain is not working so well anymore. So thank you so much everyone for being there. Thank you thanks you very much for putting up with my nonsense today. And I hope you have a great weekend. Don't forget that it's Father's Day tomorrow, if that's relevant to you. If not, well, good. Yeah. Alright, so have a great weekend, folks. Great big thank you to Supermod Otto and Valerie. And I think Ian also. But like Otto has her Link game pretty much on point. And go watch Buddy Thunderstruck. And we will see each other very soon. So thank you very much. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye bye.